Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Ọmọ Ọlọ́run làwọn pásítọ̀ wa náà.
Hello, good evening from here. You're welcome to Opinion Sharers. My name is Paul. I am your regular host on this platform, especially this Saturday show. So, uh, while we are still waiting for some people to join us, two of our guests to join us, we have three already in the house, in the studio. So, we are going to be taking it from where we stopped last week. We are talking about the implication of poor parenting on the larger society. How does poor parenting? This is an attempt by me to try to link what we have in Nigeria, because my guests tonight are all people of Nigerian descent. So I'm going to be attempting to link some of the menace, some of the chaotic situations that we have in Nigeria. I'm going to be linking them to poor parenting. And I'm sure that some of them will be disagreeing with me. Maybe some other will be agreeing as well. So I'll be asking the questions and providing a little bit of guidance. So before we do that, as usual, please let us quickly go and share the link. Let's share the link as much as you can. Madam Dorothy is in the building, so please do share the link. Grab the link quickly and share it. I'm going to be doing the same thing now. Um, okay.
Jesus Christ.
If you need my assistance to share the link or to get the link, please let me know. I can send it to you. Share it in groups if possible. There are groups where people, uh, people might like this kind of discussion today. I think it's important that they are able to participate, maybe by commenting or by asking questions. And then Yeti, okay, it's still Madam Dorothy. I think this one is not working, I guess. Okay, Madam Dorothy, your phone down is there one side, or I think you would need to turn on the auto rotate first of all before you are able to turn it that way.
Why the thing they come on? Shebi they say now auto. When I turn am
Yes.
on, it's supposed to be auto by himself. I don't turn am on the other day. I'll try again. Oh, this thing, me, I'll be old school. Oh, I'll try again.
Okay now. Anyway, I'm giving you like 20 seconds more, so quickly turn it
Okay.
on, and then we can commence.
How did I even get it last time again? That means um, I don't know how I got it last time again. I'm going to try again now.
Try.
Display, wallpaper, lockdown. Where did I go? Is it location? Where did I go? Where did I go? When I'm on setting. Where did I go last time? Oh, help. Any help?
Where are you? What did you see?
I'm on setting. I'm looking. Is it about? Is it uh,
Is it?
accessibility, general
No, I don't see.
management, apps, device?
Do you see
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
like the screen?
I don't
The
know how I
screen
got it last
setting.
time. Oh, geez. Anything like?
Screen setting.
Okay, no.
Normally, you are supposed to see.
Connections. Okay, let me see.
Let me check
No.
my. Anyone using Samsung? You are using Samsung, right?
Android, Samsung, yes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
auto rotate is what you are looking for. So, but I don't use a Samsung, but I use an Android, high-ended Android. So I don't know. It's easy for me when you pull it down. When you just pull the menu down, you see auto rotate. So you just push on auto rotate. You should be able to see it. Anyway, because we have people that are waiting for us, I'd like my guests to start introducing themselves, starting with Citizen Oluwatosin.
Hi, friends. I'm Citizen Oluwatosin. I'm a citizen of Nigeria and a proud one.
Okay, a proud Nigerian. Village boy.
Thank you. I am the village boy.
That's all. Okay, now. Putting the women at the back seat today. It's deliberate. Abby?
Good
You
evening.
are breaking the rule.
Yes.
Good, good evening, viewers. As you can see, what they are already doing to me. My name is Abimbola, and that will be it.
Okay, thank you. All right. Madam Dorothy, I can't see your face, so it's better now. It's getting better. Can you please introduce yourself if you can hear me?
Oh yes. My name is Dorothy Frank Taylor at the old school. Thank you.
You're not the only old school in our midst, okay? Even the village boy doesn't, uh, always admit that he's old school. He's old school, but he's trying to fit into our generation, and I love him for that. Thank you
Boy
See
for
is
his name
making.
now.
first.
His name is Village Boy. Boy.
Boy is
Okay.
first.
Okay. He's a village boy for life. Thank you. So today, I have parents in the house, and we are going to be discussing something that I think is important that we assess. We are going to be doing, um, a little bit of brain work, because what we'll be doing, or what I'm proposing we do today, is to see how poor parenting has resulted to the kind of society we have in Nigeria today. And I don't think it is news what we have in Nigeria today. When you look at the news, or you go to Google, not Google, sorry, when you go to Twitter, if you're a Twitter user, just go to the Twitter, you see all manners of things that are happening in Nigeria. A lot of people are struggling. There is high level of poverty. You know, there is crime everywhere. There's Boko Haram is, instead of increasing, it has even degenerated. Now we have bandits in the north. Okay, and recently in the southeast also, there are people that are attacking other people, attacking the security architectures all over. And I learned that the military is even in full force in some places in the south now. And in the southwest, there's all manners of things happening. There's stealing, there's uh, you know all manners of vices, kidnapping, and all of that. Our security forces are not being trusted by the citizen. Politicians are not trusted. An average Nigerian believe that an average politician is a thief, you know. And I'm not the one, I'm not making it up. This is just the general perception. But what I'm proposing here tonight is that these people, whether politicians, whether the kidnappers, or the bandits, Boko Haram, and all the people that are robbing, or even the Yahoo boys, okay, because the Yahoo boys is a big thing in Nigeria. And I think there's something that we all have in common, which is that we all come from a home. We come from a family. We come from this, parent, and then we make a community, and then the larger society. So I'm going to be asking, I want the village boy to go first, to look at how you think the the implication or the effect of poor parenting has led to some of the things that we have seen, and that you can see. If you can be specific, I would appreciate it. Thank you. And I'm sorry if I am, I didn't let you into my notes, but it's deliberate. I want us to, I don't want us to be bookish. I want us to speak from the heart. I want us to look at the experiences, look at our own experiences, look at the news look at what is happening around the society. And I'm particularly glad because some of this discussion has been remained in the hands of men most cases. Women are no, I don't want to talk politics. So I dragged them here today. They'll be forced to talk about these things. Thank you, Village Boy.
Well, thank you so very much for. I've been asking myself since I got the invitation that what is poor parenting. I draw back to my Yoruba culture to find out what is the issue between what is parenting, and I was able to come up with 3 scenarios. There is a popular saying that one thing is to be trained and to retrain yourself. So that when when a parent train a child, that child also has to retrain himself, which means the child has to conform with the training to be able to turn out well. So I see there obligation on the part of the parent, then responsiveness on the part of the child. That is one. Then the other one is what we call a big call. That is a child that is not trained at all. A child that is left on his own due to, sometimes in the past it could be due to separation of parents, or it could be to, in recent times, the pursuit of economic interest by the parents that they hardly have time for the child. Then the third one is what they call a biko, akwaigba. The third one is akwaigba, the one that is actually trained. The parents fulfill the obligation, but the child just refused to take to that training. Out of these 3, only the first one will turn out good. And in that case, when you say a child that is misbehaving, we Yoruba try to interrogate whether it's because that the child was not properly trained, or the child did not accept training. And when you see today, I always in various fora I have spoken about this, that from 1989, with the coming of social adjustment program, we degenerated from our common ethos, which is Omoluabi, based on integrity, honesty, to Owonikoko, to the pursuit of money. We place money above everything else. So you now see both parents are pursuing career. Pursuing career is not bad, but you see parents who leave home by 4 a.m. and come back by 11 p.m. So when you see that kind of a scenario, there's little that the child will learn from the parents. There's a joke that I was going around some times ago that a man was on leave and he was in the living room by around 8 a.m. and the child came and saw, they were living in the room at parlor, and the child came and said, "Go and tell the mom that one uncle is waiting in the parlor for you." I don't know whether it is true or not. So the child was seeing the father as the uncle because they hardly see him. There are people who work almost 7 days and they are scarcely at home. And some who don't work, they go from work on Friday, they go to vigil and maybe never return until Sunday evening. So there are a lot of things that has happened. Parents have abandoned their responsibility, and children are left in the hand of nanny. In the past, when we were growing up in a communal setting, when you are busy, your parents, which is a grandparent to the child, are always around to take care of the child. So the gap was not so wide then. But with urbanization, people moving from rural area to the urban cities to look for economic progress. So you have to depend on nannies to take care of these children. And again, most of this nanny or house help, they are even older age themselves. Imagine you engage a 16 or 14-year-old girl as a house help to train your children. What can that house help give? So lack of parental attention to children has indeed created a problem in our society. So the society had no time for the new generation, which is very sad. And those of us, Oh, it's happened to how it happened that my generation are more guilty of this. Only few are able to create a balance between career pursuing and parenting responsibility. But like I said, it's two sides. There's an obligation, then there's responsiveness. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I want to ask my friend Abby, how much do you think average Nigerian parents understand the role of parents to their children? Looking at your own relationship with other people, maybe while now you are in the UK, or maybe while, especially while you were in Nigeria, comparing that with what is obtainable now.
I just want to start with knowing something is that bad parenting doesn't necessarily mean that the parents want to do something evil to their child. It also doesn't mean that we would accept the fact that they don't know. And just like the village boy has said, that we all have to, aside from trying to say we're training. So when somebody, probably my parents, my grandmother or grandfather trained my parents, they are supposed to train themselves. And then the circle has to go. Now, in terms of Nigeria and here, it's a wide gap. It's a wide gap, even though majority of our people, quote and unquote, Nigerians living here, still carry that mentality with them to the UK or wherever they are. And so it's easy for us to talk about bad parenting and just take ourselves away from it. For instance, I'm talking about myself now. I can look at bad parenting from the angle that, oh, they didn't do this well, they didn't do that well, but I'm also there. I think there's an adage, I'm trying to remember what the adage now, that you say that more Toba, I can't remember, Toba Lakisa Bia Toba Sheknika or something like that. You might think you know more.
Okay, can I help you out of that?
Please
As the
do.
original village boy. Tọmọdé bá láṣọ bí àgbà kò lè lákìsà bí àgbà.
Interpretation, please. What does that mean?
Now, if a child has a newer cloth more than the other, it may not likely have old and used cloth like the others.
So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is that it's easier for us to put the blame game in this situation. Very easy, because I can blame my parents now that what they did wasn't adequate enough and all that. But being a parent myself, I can understand that it's not an easy decision to make. Like the other experience that I shared the other time about my daughter, I can imagine I was at work and they called me. Honest to God, my head was banging. And I was thinking, I can't wait to get home. But thank God for God and the Holy Spirit. I was like, okay, remember, you are a good parent. You're going to do this very differently. And it takes a lot of whatever culture or whatever is directing you. I'm trying not to be too religious here now. Whatever is directing you, if it's your conscious mind, all those unconscious mind, whatever you think is directing you. But for me, it was the Holy Spirit that was just calming me. That was to say, and my child knew that my mom is already getting into somewhere else. She kept on texting me when she got home, Mommy, I'm sorry. I didn't say a word, but I was angry. So it takes a lot of whatever to say that we want to change that mindset of, because I am a parent myself, it's very difficult for me to kind of look at those parents now. But what I could say they could have done, just like Village Boy said, is upskilling themselves, which is not an excuse for anyone. So I don't know if I've gone round in circles, but maybe I've answered your question or not.
Thank you.
I think they could have upskilled themselves.
I am grateful. Thank you.
Yeah.
See, my friend here was saying maybe this is what you are trying to say.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. That's what I wanted to say, actually.
Okay. Thank you, Nii.
That's what I want to say. Thank you. I appreciate
that. So now I'm going to take it up from there, and I want to ask Mommy Dorothy about this one. How did we go from a society that was community-based. You know, when I was growing up, any adult in the society can scold you. They watch out for you. They can correct you, you know. And it was seen as normal. How did we go from there to what we have today?
Thank you very much. I had that on my mind. In my adage from Igbo, they say you only own a child when that child is in your tummy. Once you give birth to that child becomes almost everybody's responsibility. But today, the case is quite different. If you see a child on the street doing wrong and you scold that child, believe you me, before you get home, the mother will rush at you and call you a witch. Leave my daughter, leave my son alone. You know, but those days, if you are an elderly person scolds you, you even want to beg that elderly person not to tell your parents what you have done because your parents will beat you, you know. So, but today is a different ball game entirely. Even the children themselves, if you make the mistake as an elder and see a girl or a boy misbehaving on the road and you talk, that child will ward you, will dress you down yourself, will tell you who made you a judge over me. I know what I'm doing. And it is shocking that this generation think or claim to know what they are doing when they are getting it wrong. They are a generation of do not tell me what to do. I know my right. What is this right that they are all fighting for? What is your right? You are heading to destruction. You're talking, you know your right. You're pursuing your right. You know, so they are incorrigible. And I don't blame the children. I don't blame them at all. I blame the parents. Because in my dialect, we say okra tree, no the top passing owner. But today, okra the top passing owner well. I'm sorry, I'm speaking my Niger English. You know, the parenting starts from the when the child is in the tummy, like I said last time. But today's parents will wait for a child to get to teenager before they start being firm, before they start standing their ground, before they start forcing the parents, the children to obey the rules. The rules they are not used to. The rule you do not inculcate in them from beginning. What did the Bible say? Train a child the way he will go. These days we leave the children to train until they know what is right, to not prove their right for you. And then you are afraid not to lose their love. Those days, our parents don't care whether you love them or not. They mold you. They want to mold you. They want to bend. My mother will beat you and tell you, I will kill you. Nothing will happen. Of course, she didn't mean to kill you. She said, I can't allow you to grow up in my lifetime and disgrace me. Because when you go outside there and you misbehave, the first question they will ask, who trained this one? Whose parents? Who born this one? Who is the mother? Who is the parent? And then today's generation, they refuse to pass down the training they got. You are supposed to pass down the training you got, not with the same hardship you get it from, not with the same tenacity of punishment, but with love. But we all abandon all the proper training we got, and we are saying, I don't want my child to suffer what I suffered. How can there be testimony without a test? Your child has to learn how to be prudent, how to learn how to be hardworking. Today, parents are in the kitchen, children are in the parlor watching TV, playing games. Parents are washing clothes for teenagers. How do you want to do that? When such teenagers get married, they say their wife or their husband to do the same thing you are doing. You have turned able children to disabled children. You do everything for them. You know, even to allow your children walk, even a short distance is a problem. You drop them in car and pick them in car. Everything is so made. So the child has no reason to struggle for anything. Again, they know there's inheritance waiting for them. Some of them even fast track your debt so they can take over the inheritance you have piled up for them. You work yourself to death just to pile up investment, inheritance for children who cannot stand by themselves, who cannot work hard. These days, no longer they think hard working, training child to work hard is punishment. What kind of punishment is that? How would they stand on their own? So today you can no longer see a child and correct a child because look at some time ago, Queen College in Nigeria, in Lagos, I mean, a child came to school, fixed eyelashes, with makeup. And the gate man told the child, go back home. You know what happened? I posted it on my page, I will find it. The child went back home. The mother tied her wrapper, cross arm, follow the child back to school and slap the gate man. How dare you send my child home? What the hell is this? What kind of a parent is that? How would you allow your child to appear? Even, are you not ashamed as a parent? Even today, some parents dress their daughters half naked. It's fashion. They think there's nothing wrong in that. When a child grows up and becomes a pornographic person, you now say, oh, my village people got to me. No, it's not the village, it is you that village yourself from beginning because you didn't teach that child the way to go. So they
All right.
investigated the case. The security are begging the mother not to slap the security man. He only did his job. It is not his, So this is how we've lost it somehow. Sorry,
All
I'm
right.
talking too much, right?
Thank you. It's okay. Now, I want to take up Tosin on this one. He's a young man. He's a young man who has spent, I think, I believe, majority of his life has been spent in Nigeria as a young man. And today, most Nigerian young men are, you know, a lot of them, not most, a lot of Nigerian men are either into young men are either into trying to make money by enemies, which include whether to kidnap somebody and demand ransom, whether Yahoo, the computer, anyhow, they want to impress. And there are so many vices when you look at the society like that. Now, I want to ask Tosin, do you relate this to poor parenting? Being a young parent yourself, you know, are you able to relate this to poor parenting? If yes, please explain. And if no, I want you to give a thought.
Yeah, thank you very much. The vices we have in our society now and how we can relate that to parenting. Yes, we can relate that to parenting, but you have known me for a while now. You know I like to blame government all the time, and uh, and with that, we cannot dispute the fact that people should be responsible, especially for the kids they are bringing to this world. So the vices we have now, yes, we can attribute that to bad parenting, and we can also attribute a lot more to economic problem that is happening in the country. The There are some institutions that mold people to whatever we have become today. The family, school, and and the society. The society now. The society now. What comes into society is the economy. Now, the last one, which is the economy part of the society, will trump the others. Will trump whatever your parents have taught you. Will trump whatever you have learned in school, because people must survive. People are going to kidnapping, rituals, because some of them they say they are into Yahweh. They are not into Yahweh, they are rituals. People are kidnapping others for them to kill them, set their body parts and give it to them to do rituals so that they can get money and all that. So they are rituals. Majority of them are not into Yahoo. And even those that are into Yahoo, they are getting money from people and send them to their early grave. All this, we can relate them to bad parenting, and we can also relate them to bad governance. Bad parenting means there was some month ago, that the police discovered that Yahoo boys, their parents also come together to form association. So if your kid is duping people, is scamming people, and you, the parent, are very proud of that, and to form an association of Yahoo boys, Some parents also know their kid are into wọ́n sọ pé ọmọ ẹ̀ kò ṣalágbàfọ̀, ó ń kaṣọ wá sílé, ó dẹ̀ bí. Your kid is not a laundryman and is bringing clothes home always, and you will not ask that kid, where do you get this clothes from? That is bad parenting. Now, bad governance also. I think they should go together, bad parenting and bad governance, because some parents turn bad also, like the village boy have said. Some parents also turn bad because they are pursuing money. Because whatever you want to do or be in Nigeria, especially now, you need money. You are yourself, you are the minister of power in your house. You provide generator for light. You are the minister of water resources. You sank your borehole. You are the minister of transportation. In the community, everybody gather money to clear the road, to fix potholes. So people need money. If the government will stand up to its responsibilities and put some things in place, especially things that are basic need of people, I want to believe that a lot of devices we are finding now, social vices we are finding now in the society, some of them we die down.
Okay, thank you so much. Please permit me to quickly read out a few things that I noted down while preparing my notes. And this one has to do with the causes of bad or poor parenting. Really leads to bad or poor parenting. Just for the purpose of education, I wrote some things down. So number one on my list is unwanted child. Okay, unwanted child, which means the rate at which people are getting pregnant, young girls, and boys are becoming parents in Nigeria, and many of them are not ready. I think in the whole of Africa, maybe South Africa might be ahead of Nigeria, or Nigeria will be ahead of South Africa. But this is prevalent. And when you have parents, a lot of parents who are not ready to parent children, they are not ready to have to bear children yet. But then maybe because they have relationship and have sex, pregnancy result, and many of them cannot even finance abortion, or they are scared of their dying. So unwanted children or wanted child, selfishness, mental problem, physical health issues. Parents who have physical health issues, they cannot take care of their children as much as they would want to. Drug use, then poverty, unemployment, overstretching is mostly where you have children that is too much than what the parents can actually manage. For instance, you have there are parents that are women in Nigeria who have a minimum of 5, 6, 7 children, just one woman. Okay, and there are because polygamous is still being seriously practiced in Nigeria. You have men that have as much as 12 children, 14. Even when they cannot, it is obvious that they cannot cater. They cannot take care of these children, yet they are giving birth to them. Then the issue of divorce, and then career ambition. The village boy mentioned something like this earlier. Then the lack of education. Then, briefly again, the effect of poor parenting is this: neglect, mental issues or mental problem at school, low level of education, financial challenges, unreliability, drug use, poverty, unemployment again, homelessness, and negative attitudes towards life. I want to ask the village boy, let's do a little bit of analysis of how parents' ability to make decisions, how it in long term affects their children. And let me quickly say this: kudos to my mom. You see, my mom she went back to school when I was in, I think maybe SS1 or 2, or maybe going to SS class, senior class. So I would be around 16 or 15 thereabout. So when there was time for me to make the decision of whether to go back to school or not, The fact that I saw my mom did it, I can account for the benefit, the result of that. It's a major boost, like more than 50% of me making that decision, and telling my wife, see, I have somebody who have done it in my life, and I can see the result. So when parents make decisions, whether your children can see you or they cannot see you, it automatically affects them, whether now or in the future. Please, Village Boy, please do comment on this.
Thank you so very much. Of all the things that you listed, we agree substantially with some of them as part of poor parenting. But in the case of unwanted child pregnancy, I don't agree with you on that. Because from time immemorial, sorry, I wanted to talk immemorial. So from time in the past, there has always been incidences of teenage pregnancy and even at that, it has not affected parenting, because most often you see that the parent of the girl will take over the responsibility and they nurture. There are many people in my generation that were nurtured by their grandparents because of incidences of unwanted pregnancy. So that is not a case. Then when you look at other issues like yeah, most of those things are cultural issues like polygamy, uh, people believing that children are the gift of God, even when they cannot cater to their needs, and all those things. Those are cultural issues that they are there. But then, in the time past, this don't happen there, and the poor parenting we are seeing today were not prevalent. So, like I said in the opening speech, urbanization has created a lot of problems because we are no longer our neighbor's keeper. Everybody is the struggle for uh, economic well-being has created a kind of abdication of duty by parents. Yes, decision making is part of life. Let me also point something that we people of my generation are actually getting very fundamentally wrong. You often hear this issue that, oh, I don't want my children to go through what I went through.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, some of these things we went through were not too good, but it was not all them that were actually bad. What we went through are part of the things that made us what we became. So now today, people are throwing the bathwater with the baby. So now, because of that, they give their children everything they ask for. Uh, when the children or the child speak wrong language, they just laugh it off and do not say and do anything. When the child behave badly, either in the public or at home, they don't address it. Or some of them even defend their children bad behavior. So excessive TV watch they cannot control. Of course, they have to keep on buying electronic gadgets because they are not always at home. And there are parents who will just part of this year, let just the child ask for money. They give, even if some may even steal to give the child, just to make they believe that giving the child whatever he asks for will make the child happy. And they might think they are doing the child a favor. What they are doing to most of these children is that they are not allowing them to live. They are not allowing them the child to grow. In our time, when you are 22, 23, 25, it is almost shameful to still be living in your parents' house. At very worst, two or three friends will go and rent a room and we'll be staying together and looking for work and do that. But today, a 32-year-old is not even ashamed that he's still living under the roof of his parents or our parents. Of course, for women, they will be giving them pressure. Oh, your mates are married, your this and that. But for boys, they will just tolerate him. We are not going to the boy girl child dichotomy today. We are looking at a child as we are not looking at gender. We are not being gender biased today. So the decision you make, Yes, your mother made a good decision. It may impact on you positively or negatively. The way you respond to that decision is what matters, not necessarily with the decision that was made. I'm not sure whether all your sibling are responding the same way you have responded. For you, that made a very good impression on you. To some other child, it may not make a good impression. We have seen a child of a professor, renowned professor, who choose to be a dropout. So, are you going to say that the father or the mother, even both mother are professors, yet some of the children choose to be a dropout? So like I said earlier on, there's obligation, there's responsiveness. Each child also will respond differently to different situations. But as parents, we owe an obligation to ensure that what we are doing, what we are saying, are something that should be worthy of replication in case the child wants to do the same thing in the future. If I'm doing something that I don't want my child to do, uh, I cannot control the the child from taking after me. If your a parent is an alcohol, for instance, alcohol is alcoholic, uh, the parent cannot legislate that the child should not drink. So the child may hate alcoholism because of that, because if he has seen the father misbehaving when intoxicated, the child may decide, okay, because of that, I will not touch alcohol. The other child will say, oh, my father is doing it, so why can't I? So I think individual response is also very important in this. Like I also said earlier, Yoruba says one thing is to train a child, and that is for that child to retrain himself or herself, to transform what the child has learned into his own lifestyle and practice. Unfortunately, we cannot legislate most of these things. Decision making is part of it. The major decision in our generation is like we think we don't want our children to suffer what we suffered. So because of that, we over pamper them, and we have written that about that Facebook. We are shielding them from reality of life, and when there's a little crisis, they break down, irreparable. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I want to, still taking it from where you stop or some of the things you mentioned. I want to ask Abby, do you agree that unwanted parenting or wanted child wouldn't lead to, or in most cases, that in most cases would not lead to uh, poor or bad parenting, which result in a way, to some of the vices we see in the society today?
It can. It can. Now, I believe unwanted pregnancy could lead to that. And my reason for believing that, I will use the case of this rapper that died, DMX. I'll use him as a case study, and I hope his fans are not listening and trying to share me out now. I like his music, but when I read his autobiography or biography, whichever one, when I read it, I saw something that got me crying, which was the fact that when the mom gave birth to him, I think there was another sibling, and they gave birth to him when the mom was 16, but there was a sibling before then, and so the mom, in my opinion, doesn't know anything. She was looking after that child with the father, and then there was separation. And there was, so as at that time, and I know that's not really like the unwanted pregnancy that we're talking about, but in a way, to me, unwanted pregnancy just simply means that they're not ready. So if a parent is not ready, either both parties or maybe both of them are not ready, they can't raise a child. They cannot raise a child properly. And that will become a menace to the society. Because a child that was not raised properly, I have a case of someone closer to me that when the child is crying, when they gave birth to the child, because this person wasn't ready, when she gave birth to the child, she would just be shouting at that child, stop doing this, stop doing this, stop doing this. Now, unfortunately, unlike what the village boy said, the society that we have now, we probably run away from those grandmas and nuns and whatever that look after them. It's either because they're dead, it's either because the culture, religion, or something has made them, has demonized those people. So we don't even have those ones to go and give the child to like it used to be. So this unwanted pregnancy is going to lead to everything that we are seeing, because the child is not going to be raised in a lovely environment. By that, I mean in an environment that will showcase that you're loved. So, and if you look at that, there will be comparison, and comparison is what is breeding everything. A child gets home and the parent is like, okay, why are you not doing this? And I think we all do that based on upbringing, that we are kind of set against each other. Oh, look at your sister, look at your brother, look at this person. They are doing this, they are doing that. And automatically it becomes a competition. And automatically the child that doesn't have the money becomes, God forbid, Yahoo boy or whatever they're doing. And then they do that, and then we blame them to say, oh, it's a Yahoo boy, it's not the parents, it's not this. But aside from the society and everything, we all have that duty of care, including us that we're talking, to say that when a child is pregnant, it has happened, it has happened. It's not the time to say, oh, what kind of child have you raised? Even when that child is pregnant and you look after that child can still become whatever you want that child to become. We don't pray that happens, but everything stems from religion, from culture, from, you can't do this, you can't do that. And then they say, okay, what if I do it? Adam and Eve were told what to do, instructions, and somehow they messed it up, but they didn't die. There were consequences for every action. This is how I train my kids, that if you do this, you've got consequence. So my child knows that if you follow it, but I'm not saying don't follow according to the Bible. I'm saying do it and get your result. Don't do it and you don't get the result. So there's no need to decorate those things around children or say, oh no, my child cannot do that. If they do it, you already have your result, and you need to feel the impact of your action. That is action and consequence. So that is just for me and my thoughts. So when we look at what you were asking, is that the fact that it's not just about one-way street. I know Village Boy has mentioned quite a lot of things that I wanted to counter based on the fact that he said, oh, some parents, because of how will I put it now? My parents, both parents, they were career people, and I'm here. But I'm also very careful not to say that because I am successful, quote and unquote, or because Village Boy is successful, quote and unquote, doesn't mean that our parents have trained us right. I will stop at that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I want to ask Mommy Dorothy this one. And what I want to ask him is this, that um, overstretching is common among Nigerian women. Having children until maybe when you cannot have anymore. What do you think, in your view, what do you think is resulting to this? And do you think this is a challenge in the 21st century?
Okay, thank you. Indeed, it is a big challenge. Yeah, they were doing that back then because we were all farmers. Everybody needed the children, more children to work in their farms, because you were judged, your prosperity was judged on your farm products, how many farms you have, or how many products you can produce. So everybody needed more children to help them in the farm. But today, these have changed. There are no more farms. So I don't know why someone needs so much children. Because you as a woman, you will be overstressed. You may die young in training them, and you won't even live to see them do, grow, become successful. The husband too may die young, and the children will become successful behind you, because you overstress yourself with school fees, accommodation, feeding, giving them the best life. So if you're out there listening to me and you're a young girl, please, at least IBB did said anybody that has about more than 4 children should be prosecuted. But I know we didn't follow it up. We are not going to prosecute anybody. And you don't wait for government to prosecute you. Look at the economy today. Don't bring in children into the world to suffer yourself and the children. Because when there are too many, they're supposed to be a source of joy. When there are too many, they become sometimes sadness. When you see them around the house, when one makes a mistake, you go overboard, you scream, you are angry, you transfer aggression to them. It's not them per se, it's because there are too many for you to handle. How do you feed them? How do you give school fees? How do you pay accommodation? How do you clothe them? So reality has to be, we have to look at the reality of raising too many children. It is no longer tenable. My mother had 12, for crying out loud. Eh? And all of us, all the 12 of us, all of us didn't even go to school. I became a graduate by myself. I started working after school start. I started training myself part-time and all that. So are some of my brothers. So you bring children into the world, you suffer them so much and you suffer yourself. There's no need. Having said that, I need to make a correcting point of that one of us said. There is nothing like a ritual. If you kill anybody to make money, you're not going to make any money. After you have killed the person, the so-called Babalawo will now start telling you stories. Nobody makes money by killing anybody. Only thing I know they do is organ harvesting. They can sell the organ, but that you kill somebody, your father or mother, you become rich. All those Nollywood movies, the Nollywood too should help us and start telling the true stories. Nollywood had done so much movie. I'm one of them. I'm an actress. Our producers have done so much movie to project Nigeria in a bad image that show mother-in-law going to native doctor, show a child going to kill the mother and becoming rich. Those things
True.
don't work. And then
True.
as for if Nigeria Yahoo, yes, just hospital, whatever you call his name, is an example of Nigerian Yahoo. So now Yahoo is what? It's scammers. So young people, and it's because they don't have foundation. When you don't train a child to persevere, to be hardworking, to even lack, making a child lack, sometimes that he needs 10 naira, give him 1 naira. Let him know the value. Let him lack a little. Let him suffer lack. And let him suffer rejection. So as he's going in life, he's able to manage rejection. I saw a video. So Somali president and the GP and the VP fighting in the social, in the public, fighting for crying out loud. Those two of them did that fighting as children in their family before their parents, and they didn't judge that case like Solomon. They didn't teach them that you can't grow up and start fighting. People don't say abusive word to you and you hit them. What do you hit? Even you that says abusive word to somebody else to anger the person, it all started from the home. The parents watched them grow up like that until imagine politicians. Even in Nigeria, you see our House of Senate, they used to fight and carry tear. Who raised those children? Where are they from? Which homes are they from? This is a failure from the homes. The homes have failed. We talk about government owing us things. Yes, government should give us amenities. But our character, we should start from the home to mold the children well before the government comes in. Those days, you train your child well. I train my own well. The two of them will meet in school. Both children have culture. They will not misbehave because they are from good homes. But today, some parents train their children well, and they go to school, and they want some bad parents to corrupt them. It wasn't so before. Everybody, it was a shame for your child to misbehave. The church will even give you back bench. If your daughter gets pregnant, they'll put you in the back bench. So every mother will appeal to the child, please, my daughter, I beg, anything you want, just talk to me. What I can do, I will do. You are not of age. Don't let a man touch you. Don't say, my mother made me feel that once a man lay hand on my skin, I'll get pregnant. So I know those ones were extreme. She wasn't trying to frighten me. Everybody wanted to protect their face. Remember when my son was in the university, 300 level, it was election time. He said some people came to the college, to university, to recruit them, to say they will give them 20,000 if they voted. He was 17 plus. So my son said, because of money, I mean, we are not poor, he was suffering. It's okay. He started following them. He said halfway into walking to the place, he just remembered that, so my mother, if they catch me, so my mother will see me on TV. Oh my God, I'll finish. My mother will see me on TV that they catch me. And then I will not finish my course as a lawyer. He just called the man, excuse me, sir. I'm sorry, sir, I have to go back. He went back. So what made our children, even me those days, when our mother is not around, our father, we don't do things we know we get into trouble. How the parents instill those fears in us that even in their absence, we are afraid to do certain things. Why have we watered it all down that the children are so free to do anything? Like Abby said, no consequences, no reward. How did the parents get to this level? How? Everything happening today is the fault of the parents, starting from home. Look at Twitter. Your child is not of age. He's on social media. Doing what? Looking for his father or his mother there. What is he doing? At what age? When
Okay,
phone first came
Omi.
out, sorry, 1 minute. When phone first came out, my son didn't have a phone for a long time. And it was deliberate. It was because he was of age. He didn't have an email address until he was going to university. But today, 10 years, what is all that? We have all lost it in the family background. So our problem of the world starts from the family. We should go back to the family and train our children well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma. I agree with you 100% that we should all go back to the home, because if we, it's like the problem of the society, we are scratching it from the edge, forgetting about the root. And if we are going to actually restructure Nigeria, restructuring should start from every home, from every background. Now, I want to talk to Tosin. When you look at environment, because as a social worker, I understand the impact of or the importance of environment on the development of children and the society at large. When you look at some environment in Lagos, you lived in Lagos for some, I believe every one of us on this platform lived in Lagos for many years. Look at the environment where there are always crises. Look at Mushin, look at Maitu, look at Oju Elegba. Now compare them to areas that are relatively peaceful, clean. You understand? Areas that you would want to live in. How do we get to the level? Okay, let me not even, maybe Mushi is even classy. Look at Makoko, because I lived in Ebute Metta, so I know Makoko very well. I don't know, maybe many of us know Makoko. Makoko is a place whereby, people live in shanties, and there are so many shanties around in Nigeria, and even not only Nigeria, but around the world. But then we are focusing on Nigeria today. How do you want to bring up children in such environment? And I don't think the government has a plan for any of such. I want you to tell me your thought and what you think this is the role this such might be playing in the society.
Yeah, of course. Our immediate environment, they have to an extent power over what will become and what's become of us. Because people, it is not everybody that grew up in the slum that actually turn out to be bad in life and not successful. Some of us grew up in not in the slum, but probably on the street. The village boy say I should not say I grew up on the street. But uh, one of the things is the families still have a lot to do on on their children. There's a saying, I think in the Bible, that says, train up a child in the way he should go. Now, when he eventually grow, he will not deviate from it. Well, in the society we have in Nigeria now, some of them will automatically deviate from it, and only few will not, because of the economic vices we have. So, children growing up in the slum, in such environment, it will have impact on them, because psychologically they will grow up. Some of them will grow up without having feelings. You will understand that during election or when violence want to happen, even politicians will go to those areas to recruit them, tip them, and use them for to instigate crisis in the society. So people that grow up in those slums, now it's our own responsibility as good citizens, as we want the society to become a better place, to now begin to look into those people, so that if a rich man, I don't know, I think it's Awolowo that said that the elites, the rich people that are leaving the poor ones to suffer, at the end of the day, those poor guys will hit the rich guys. So we should learn to give back to the society, especially those from this area, and that will not have opportunity to some amenities, because kids that grow up in more civilized environments, they enjoy a lot of things compared to kids that grew up in the slum and all that. They enjoy a lot of things. They enjoy, even when they have bad behavior, the kind of environment they grew up will not project the bad behavior they have. I mean, kids that grow up in tush environment like Ikeja and all.
Okay, thank you, Tosin. I want to ask a village boy and Abi this question. I want the two of you to answer it. Maybe first by the village boy, followed by Abi. When you look at religion in Nigeria, and I know it's a sensitive topic, but Abi is Facebook mommy Geo, so I'm sure she's comfortable. Anyway, when you look at religion in Nigeria, you find out that we are 90%, let's say at least 90% Christian and Muslim. All right. When you look at the north, not Nigeria, northern Nigeria is, heavily Muslim. The south is majorly, especially okay, let's say the southeast is like 95% Christian. And then the southwest is a combination of both, and a little bit of some Ifa, Ogun, and so Oshun and Oya worshippers. But they are minority. In fact, I think Christianity and Islam has, nearly eradicated every other religion in Nigeria, and that is the fact. Now, what do you think when you look at the value system of our society today? Looking at a society that is heavily religious. Village boy.
Well, the truth is that people are trying to separate religion and spirituality over time. We are religious, but we are godless. It's unfortunate. It's a contradiction, but that is our reality. I've written about this. Our values, the more when we are, okay, let me take you back a bit in this. When we were growing up, if you are a Christian, they called us SU that time. And the one thing that distinguishes us then is like we are very honest, we had integrity. If somebody says, okay, I'm a Christian, you can go to sleep. The same thing those days when you go to market, even in Lagos, when you go to buy from a mala and you say, okay, gaskia, I want you to tell me the gaskia, and they tell you the amount. You go to sleep, you believe that the guy is truthful. But all these things have eroded over time. Somebody is praying now, you are doubting him because now they use prayer as as a way of how do you call it? As con tactics, tactics. Somebody is praying for you, but the person is doing you or is defrauding you. We have left the principle of God. We pray, we fast, but the simple things, the Bible even says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these other things shall be added unto you. But what do we do now? We don't seek the kingdom. We don't even talk about this righteousness. We seek all those other things. We seek money. Everybody want to blow. Everybody want to fly the private jet and all that. We are a religious society that is increasingly becoming very godless. And it's very sad for those who believe in God. I'm not ashamed to be called a Christian or to be a believer, but I am sad when I see the quality of people who profess faith, either it's religion or either it's Islam or Christian or even traditional religion. even in those days, the integrity that we saw in religion practices, they are no longer there because everything has been commercialized. Even they go to Yaba in the afternoon, they are doing around 12 this thing. They are doing praise and worship, or whatever I call it, a fellowship in the market, Yaba market, and the person will still sell fake to you. The guy is praised, the one that's leading the praise worship, he will still sell fake product to you. So, and they will tell you it's business. so I think we mistake going to church, going to mosque as being godly. No, it is not. It's just religious, just like practice. It has become as going to school or going to market. To other people, it doesn't touch them. They don't have the conscience. They do what they want to do. They don't care. The moral restriction that should be is no longer there. So it's not Christianity itself that is bad or Islam that is bad, but the way people are practicing it. And the Bible is clear that you cannot serve God and mammon. Today, most religious practices in Nigeria is worshiping mammon. And that is very sad of it. We are one of the most religious nations. And I can tell you that we are if we are not, we are also high on in the level of unrighteousness is beyond it's mind blowing, and it saddened the heart of few people who are still trying to hold on. Years back I wrote an article, I said our big men are crooks. I don't know whether any of you read it on my wall. It is there but we have to search for too long. But I can send it to you guys on WhatsApp. So people steal even church money. People steal from tithe box, tithe and offering. They steal it. Some people carry it. So what are we talking? And it is part of, because when we are growing up, they say, remember the son of whom you are. Remember the daughter of whom you are. Those things, like Madam Dorothy shared, at the time you want to do bad things, that thing will ring in your head. And it creates a moral constraint in you. Today, now you want to raise a prayer that in the next 48 hours, you will receive sudden credit alert in your bank. That is the prayer you will pray. And that is what will be in your head for the next 48 hours. Whether somebody stole that money, it doesn't bother you. All you want is credit alert. So it is sad, but we have to find our way back. We mix it. Even this religious practice, if it doesn't start from home, it can't take root. It can't take good root. Because if you are a preacher and your children know that you are also a Yahoo father or Yahoo mother, or you are even you are defrauding one another, husband and wife, they are defrauding each other, and the children know. Don't think that the children they don't know, they know. Something is 20 is 100 naira. The mom says it's 500. The children will be laughing, say, that they were. Yes.
I think that's common.
I'm not being gender specific. It could be both
ways. I think
that
is a common trend, honestly. And I think we all know it anyway.
So the man is saying that there is no money, but he's paying the school fees of the child outside. And the same person go and mount pulpit and is preaching on Friday, he's preaching on Sunday. So what is the religiosity there? The same people who will not, when we were growing up in those days, when Yellow Fever, Traffic Ward, when they want to collect bribe on Tony Pan, I saw when I was a teenager, I was about 15, 16, I came to Lagos for holiday. He asked the driver to drop the thing. The guy was using leg to, like he was mashing, stabbed out the money. And like he wanted to pick something on his trouser. He neatly drew out the money. That was because this is not something you can do openly. But now the guy will stretch out, bring the money. So we are degenerating, and it's very sad. It's very sad. I won't even
Yeah.
say it's one. No, it is sad. Thank
Mm.
you.
Thank you, sir. Facebook mommy Gio.
Okay. I take the credit for Facebook Mommy Geo. But
Mommy
one thing
Dorothy, you prepare. You answer the same question.
okay,
That's okay.
I take the credit, and I always say that Facebook Mommy Geo, and I know a lot of people wonder why I chose to be a Mommy Geo. I chose to be a Mommy Geo because you know, when we are talking about Christ, it definitely means that there's no priesthood, so nobody is greater. Even though I know that in spirit, in the spiritual realm, we still have to give credit to some certain people based on their, and that's a deeper level. But in the real sense of it, those whom God has chosen, it will crown them with effort. It will clothe them with that knowledge and understanding. So I'll go back to your question, which is about value system. There is no value system in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, if someone tells me that they're Christian and I really want to employ their services, I use like 10 meters apart and make sure my brain is very intact. As a matter of fact, if you tell me you're a Christian, there's a danger signal in my head to know that be careful, be careful, be careful. You're going to be scammed, you're going to be duped. All through my life, from when I was young to my probably adult life, I'm 40. And in my adult life, all I could see is that the people that have actually scammed me all my life, they are Christians. Either the one that they manipulate me or the one that they actually scammed me by way of how will I put it now? By trick. And so for me, that moral standard is not there. So, like Village Boy said, if you're saying somebody from church, we see this all boils down to not knowing who Christ is, which is what they preach in the church. They talk about love. You see aunties, uncles talking about love in church. I have family members. I hope that they are watching or somebody's going to pass that message across. They attend MFM, they attend Redeem, they attend different churches, but yet they lack love. And yet they want to preach. The only thing they preach is scaremongers, kill your enemies and all that. Guess what? I still love them irrespective of that hatred or whatever that they've got. So in my opinion, when we don't practice what we preach, when we don't practice that message, so the message of Christ, all these ceremony, going to church, because it's already written that on that day, you don't need to go anywhere to worship him. Okay, those who will worship the Father through the Spirit. So if you're still doing all this ceremonial thing, it's good, it's fantastic. I call a church, it's just like community gathering, which is not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad thing to have a community. It's like going to the club. It's not a bad thing. Enjoy each other's company is good because you can't meet God there. God doesn't live in your church. God lives within you. So you can carry your God with you and go and worship with other people that are godly, but God doesn't live in your church, as long as you know that. So if we understand the truth, so I'm looking at the word value system as a person's standard, their self-discipline, and it's just based on common wisdom, knowing that whatever proper upbringing, morals, discipline that you do, you will uphold it, you will abide with them. So I abide with it that regardless of who you are, all the guest speakers, I will stand by the truth. It doesn't matter if you, Mr. Paul, today, tomorrow, preach lie, and I know you, regardless of who you are, I will stand by the truth. That is what I know. That's my motto. That's what I believe in. So if every Nigerian is saying that to themselves, that to say that, you know what, regardless, if we're going to fight about religion, about politics and all that, love supersedes everything. Love will stop somebody, a Boko Haram, to kill another person. Love will. So if the only message that we are preaching every Sunday is about love, this is not going to happen. Nothing, our country will be, when an EFCC official, I'm saying this now, I hope that somebody's going to pass this message to them. When an EFCC official is asking for bribe, what else can you say? Yes, they see the Yahoo, they want to catch them. And the people that actually legit, that want to do legit things, you have to question them. So this is what we're talking about. So you see MFM members, and I love them so much because I have family members there. MFM members taking bribe without hearing. And then they'll have the gut to judge somebody like me that is using lipstick. So this is what we always, as a Nigerian, I think what we do is, I don't know, I'm struggling to understand English sometimes. It's like, borrow me English. I'm sorry. We focus on minor things and we leave the major thing. That's what we do most times. We leave the things that the way they are matters. We talk about tithes, we talk about, oh yeah, church building, we want to be somewhere that is like in Badon, that is this. And you see graduates, you see people that are supposed to uphold the truth, dancing around the truth. And I pray for them, as many that are listening to me this time, that hypocrisy will not kill them and their generation. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Mom Gio. Now, Mom Dorothy, I want you to look at the fact that we, especially in Nigeria, every child is indoctrinated into religion from their family, by their parents. And we are discussing parenting today, or poor parenting, how it has made our society what it is now. Because even when, people like Tosin, they are fond of saying it is the government, it is the politicians. But the politicians, they are also from somebody's home. They are from a family. Okay? So it is the dishonesty dishonesty seed that has been sown into an average individual that is sown into the same politician. Because if you give an average youth who is committing internet fraud, or who is going to get money by all means, or a Boko Haram member, if you give them the position of Buhari, tendency is very high that they will also do worse than what we see an average Nigerian politician do today. So, Mommy, I want you to, lend your voice to this. What do you think is happening to us, especially looking at, indoctrination of into religion from family?
Okay. I keep talking about those days when your parents are reading the Bible to you. They will explain it to you according to the Bible without being biased. My mother used to make me recite in the church almost every Sunday. She would give me a Bible verse to cram and recite. So they start early to put the words inside you. And those words inside you will bear witness to you when you want to do wrong. Do not steal, do not kill. You will remember them. But today, parents who have raised this today's generation, they no longer have the word inside them. And they no longer teach the children the word. It was the word that Jesus Christ used to conquer the devil on the cross. When he said, go and steal. When he said, fall down from me, he said, thou shalt not, thou shalt not. How many of us today, Christian, knows the word? We no longer know the word. All we know is my GO say, my mama GO say, Papa GO say. Whether they are saying the truth or not, you do not know. How can you be a Christian, you don't know the Bible, to be able to counter your pastor? Excuse me, sir, this thing you said, this is what I think it is, humbly. But no, whatever the GOs pass down to, even those who open churches, because they want to collect out and offering just to make money. They don't care about you. And those who teach children from home, parents, don't even live by example. You are reading the Bible to me, and the Bible says, do not steal, do not kill, love your neighbor. But you are keeping enmity with the next neighbor, and the child is seeing you. You are contradicting the what you are teaching in the Bible. In the night, in the evening, you read the Bible to your children. In the day, you go to market, you buy something 10 naira, you want to sell it 40 naira, you overmake profit. I want to tell you, those profits you overmake, at the end of the day, they will fly away like money because you are inconveniencing, you are punishing somebody, you have to make profit. But when it's excess and you are a Christian, you'll be even saying true to God. That's not I am. And and your child is there in the market, so seeing you say true to God, the child know how much you bought that thing. You are seeing the child, now, certain amount I buy, the child is watching. So at the end of the day, you don't live by example. And then you want your child to grow up and not to be the same. No, the child will be the same. Now you go to your friend or family, you defraud even your own parents. You and your husband have issues. Then you call your parents, hey, please, my husband is sick, my child is sick, we need money. Your child is watching you. So how would that child not grow up to become a Yahoo Yahoo? Even you as a parent that goes to native doctor, when your child goes to university, he will become a court member. It is the same native doctor. It is your way that the child is following. So the problem of today is we should know the word. The Bible said the truth will set you free. The word that you know inside you is will guide you to be able to know when the pastor is deceiving you. When I was growing up, I didn't know about Malachi because in my village, people willingly pay some tiny, tiny money. And that money, the church, Anglican church, opened the school for children free of charge. But today we hamper Malachi. You are stealing from God. You are robbing God. What are you robbing God? Does God collect money? Then you build churches, schools that your church members cannot afford. People who can afford your schools are Lakey members, politicians, those who come to your church. There are those who can afford it. And then you tell poor people, you collect. The Bible says, "Who unto you who collect from the poor to enrich yourself." In a country where people are suffering, they are building gigantic churches, building buildings, not factory for you to work. What are we all doing? It's a shame that today, when someone says they're a Christian, you are afraid, you want to run away from that person. How are you a parent? You are busy making money. Your child comes back from school. Every day, I used to work in a bank those days. Even if it's 12 midnight, I must check my child's bag every day. If I see any pencil I didn't buy for you, you are in trouble. Who has this? How did you get it? Your classmate gave you for what? Don't you have pencil? But no, you don't. Even when you see, you keep quiet. You see a lot of pencil, a lot of Bible. That's where stealing starts from. You don't take your child's homework. My children teacher know that every day they do wrong, they'll get a note from me. By the time my son passed something, the teacher mark it wrong. I sent a letter. Dear ma, dear sir, they apologize. Next time the child failed it, and she mark it right. I said, dear ma, dear sir. So she knows that this parent will always check the child book. So she's careful with my child. She's careful with my child's work. What is all parents take this time? It's part of molding. It's part of training. One time I went to the teacher in my presence of my son. I didn't mean it. I told her, I said, this child is my pikin. If you do wrong, beat her well, beat her well. You hear? Yeah. So when she was seeing me off, I told her, well, madam, don't touch my pikin, no. Don't beat my child, no. But I said that in the presence of my son to her. So if parents, everything still starts from the home. Even this is what we're talking about. Read the Bible. Even you as a Christian, put the word inside you so you can quote back to your pastors. How would you tell me what I know? We will discuss it, and you will understand. We will teach each other. It is unfortunate. Religious leaders today will tell people, your mother is a witch, your mother-in-law is a witch, your uncle is doing you, your brother is doing you. They just sow seed of discord in families. Your neighbor is a witch. The neighbor that you're supposed to love, like yourself. Pray for those that persecute you. Forgive them that hate you. But no, we pray for them and die. What is all that? For your information, that for them and die, no they reach heaven. Now still in the reach. Because God does not want any soul to die, but to come to repentance. We only go to church to pray for enemies. Watch it in church's video. When you say pray for Nigeria, you will see. Praise will be calm. They say pray for enemy. You see them raising the rope. They jump down. They will start. It is so much venom to pray for against your enemy. Sometimes we are the enemy of ourselves. Well, it's our handwork that is turning back to us. So these churches are also supposed to train children, help in upbringing, but no, everybody, I don't know, apart from churches, even the Muslims. There's an imam in my area that impregnated a member's daughter. Because I'm a CDA member, we handle the case. Why would you touch a child bestowed onto you to train? You impregnated that child. So more so today, many religious leaders, they even sleep with people's wives, people's daughters, choir members sleep with themselves. Where is the fear of God? There's no longer fear of God. And today, bad thing is going in Nigeria because we celebrate riches. To me today, once I have money now, buy limousine, build house in Lekki, all of you will use my picture as DP. You will celebrate me. Oh, she has made it. How did I make it? Nobody cares. That is how it is in Nigeria. That's why this thing is growing. Every youth want to be relevant, want to make money so it can be known. Those days we are known by good character, by good behavior, not by money. So we actually need to go back to the roots. Then Esther, when you tell your child, do not fight, it is not good. When somebody annoys you, call the person. So I was telling my daughter that one day we went to a tailor and I lost it. I said, why did you do that? On our way home, my daughter said, but mommy, you said do not fight. You are fighting You're almost fighting with that tailor. I say, oh, I'm sorry. So this is how our children watch us. They learn from us. And that thing that girl did that day, she was 6 years old. Though. That thing she did that day, I have never forgotten. This time I want to lose, I remember. But mommy, you said. So what are you saying to your parents? Today, people in my generation, when my mother said, my father said, all these generations, they have forgotten what their mother said. Maybe their mother has not said anything. Their father has not said anything. What are you imparting on your children? Start from home and help the society. You know,
Thank you, ma.
my dear, let me
Thank
not
you.
talk too much.
Thank you very
Mm.
much, ma. I love your statement. I'm going to. Tosin wants to react to some of the things you say, but I want to compound it. Whatever he wants to say, I want to ask him also a question. When the first time I heard that a Nigerian was going to carry bomb, that was what year was that? This Abdul Muttalab. Yeah, that I was going to blow up a plane. When I first said that, I said, I lie. That boy is not a Nigerian. They should go and investigate it very well. But I think it's been maybe 15 years later, and it's almost as if it's become a regular thing now in Nigeria. You know, when people who are non-Nigerians see you and they want to relate with you, they ask you, "How is Boko Haram? How is are your people safe?" You understand? So it's become from that time, and I'm still a young man, but things has changed, has deteriorated so much. So I want to ask Tosin, being someone who lived in the north, even as a young man, what is it that you saw? I wish I have somebody that is originally from the north. I know that Village Boy lived in the north, but that's been many years ago. So I believe Tosin has a recent experience. What is it that parents do that, or that the society tolerates, or that the society has done or doing, that has led to the kind of northern Nigeria that we have today?
Uh, the kind of knot we have today. Some time ago, we discussed about this with a student from your school. I think he was from the north. He's from the north. Now, the discussion going to an end that day, you discover that not you discover what happens in the north is that the northerners, they still have a soft spot for terrorists, for Boko Haram. And that is why you will see that most of the people in charge of security in Nigeria, most of them are from the north, and especially from Borno State. But still, they cannot end the fight against Boko Haram. Now, staying in the north, I was in the north when the guy was killed, the Boko Haram guy, the guy that started it. What is the name now? Hafiz?
No,
I
I
forgot
think
the name now. When he was killed in the time of Obasanjo, I was in the north then. And now, after his death, Boko Haram started attacking uh, police stations and security agencies in the north before it now degenerated to what we have now. Northerners, they still have soft spot for the terrorists. And the reason is this. The reason is some of their relatives now are in Boko Haram. So some of them even feel that even the president had said an attack on Boko Haram is an attack on the north, because they have soft spot for them, because partially they share the same faith, the same ideology. And sometimes ago, even the minister Patani was an apologist to some terrorist group and all. So the Northerners, they have soft spot for Boko Haram. And another reason is economic value. Boko Haram is recruiting youth and giving them money to be their fighter. Boko Haram is giving out loans. Boko Haram is giving a handout. Even this last Eid, there was video that came from the north where Boko Haram was giving out food item and handout to people. Now, these are the things the government are not doing. That is why I usually say the government is the problem. These are the things the government are not doing, neglecting the citizen. And Boko Haram is now showing more care. That is why you see even our military cannot take on the Boko Haram and sometimes have effective gain upper hand against Boko Haram, because the Boko Haram terrorists are being nicer to the locals. And when our people, our military are coming to attack them, the locals are giving the terrorists information that they are coming to attack you. So part of the things is government irresponsibility also. Now, another thing about people becoming pastor and now they are not responsible. See, a lot of the people we have today as pastors, they are not pastor because they want to be pastor, but because there is no job. So everybody is going to preach. And by the virtue of the scripture, God has called everyone to preach, go into the word and preach. So nobody needs to hear a voice in their head telling them, my son, go and preach. No, it's already in the Bible. Go into the word. It's command for everyone. So a lot of people, it is hunger that pushed them to become pastor. A lot of people, it is joblessness, unemployment that pushed them to be pastor. So when those people get there, you cannot expect them to function well like those that are really called by God.
All right, thank you, Tosin. I want to take on Village Boy on this particular subject. When I was doing my preparation, welcome, my friend Yeti. You came late, but then it's okay.
I'm so sorry. My apologies to everybody. I dashed to drop a cake in Guarimpa, and they always tell me that there's no traffic in Abuja. It is a lie. I encountered traffic coming out of Abuja that it confused me. So I'm so sorry. And lovely, I'm trying to catch up. Lovely to see everybody, please.
All right. You're welcome. So now the question I want to pose to the Village Boy stems from this. When I was preparing for this, there's a study that was done in America, in a university in America, University of Michigan for precisely, whereby they study wealth transfer, transgenerational wealth transfer. And you find out that majority of white male have continued to grow their wealth. So they are looking at why. And they find out there are 5 factors or 5 ways through which wealth has been transferred from one generation to another among especially white male Americans. And number one thing, the first thing on the list is education. You know, the second one is home ownership. The third one is marriage and business transfer. Business transfer of ownership. Now, when you look at our society, Nigeria, for instance, there is high level of education, and there are even graduates who are not employable. So I want to see how is it that are we planning to transfer wealth? I know that you made a point earlier that the fact that people have gone to pursue career is perhaps one of the reasons why they don't have time to train their children anymore compared to what it used to be. I want you to look at these issues that I've raised, and then make a point, please.
All right. Thank you very much. Of course, one, for a fact, career is not transferable. So career start with you and end with you. Now, one of the problem that you said 5, actually you mentioned 4. I don't know. Now, when you talk about education, the before now, our education
The
is more
fifth
like
one, sorry,
liberal.
sorry.
Huh?
The fifth one is transfer of gift, which could be in terms of cash or maybe bank
Yeah.
statement, but the percentage is very low. I mentioned it according to the percentage. The education takes as much as 25% of it, followed by home ownership, which is about 15%, and
Okay.
on like that.
Thank you for the clarification. Now the thing here is this: what kind of education are we talking about? We are talking about education that is centered on problem solving. We are talking of education that is responsive to the needs of the society. We are not talking about education that is just acquiring certificate, regurgitation, what we call in Lagos, Agbero Agbeso. We are talking of proper education, education that is tailored to the needs of the society. That's the kind of education you can transfer. The education that is problem solving. So when you, what we call, I mean, you read education, what they call functional education. We have it also, but it's very at rudimentary level in Nigeria. For instance, if you come from a family of drummer, you will see drummer that you can see 5 of drummers, and they keep on doing that drummers. But what do? They go for a show, they come, whatever the money, that's what we call lowo juilu. They put the money on the drum and they share it. Nobody saves, nobody invests. So they remain subsistence. It's the same thing our farming. Subsistence living. We don't have this culture of saving. No, we have culture of saving. We don't have culture of investment because we do contribution. When we do contribution, what do we use it for? We use it to buy Christmas clothes. We use it to buy Christmas chicken. We use it
Oh,
to
I'm
buy
there.
Ileya gold, Ileya ram. We save to consume, which is called the far consumption in economics. So the kind of education they give to them is the kind of education that address the society. Just like if you want to elevate the example of a drummer family, for instance, the kind of education they give them, the kind of training they give to their children, that you will see this person is from a drummer family, and you see 4 or 5 generations. They go to function, you see great grandparent, parent, and the child. They are all beating drums. And whatever they collect from that, they get home and they share it that day. And everybody goes home and everybody go and blow or whatever you do with it. Nobody build a structure. Education on its own without a proper structure cannot transfer wealth. Education, the kind of education that is based only on certification cannot transfer wealth. Like I said earlier, you cannot transfer career. So you see a carpenter who started as maybe an illiterate person. If a child takes over that carpentry, he will transform into become a furniture maker. And with his education, can build a business around it, saving and investing. Then begin to open branches. Today, I don't know whether many of you know about Odutola chain of business, which was the aim during our generation. Let's even not go too far. Abiola businesses are almost totally collapsed now. I'm not sure whether there's anyone that is surviving. And that is why Dangote is saying that, okay, he was going to take 61% of his wealth and go and invest in the US, and people are shouting, holy mother. Because the guy knows that if he leaves those things in Nigeria, it will sink. So the kind of education we that can transfer what is education that is functional, education that is focused on solving humanity problem. You can, and which is also built around a structure. You see many of these big fashion designers that we want to emulate. That is how they started, and you will see that they are being run 3, 4, 5 generations, and it continues like that. But Nigerian business, one, we don't have lack structure, we don't keep records, and because government is getting free money from petroleum, they don't even care about business. They just local government will just come and harass you, and when you bribe them, they come back another 6 months, and life continues. You don't even know how you are doing. So in such a case, you cannot transfer wealth. And of course, home ownership. Home ownership here is different from Nigeria. In the Western country, you have to pay mortgage and all that. In Nigeria, you have to build your own house, either by working hard or by stealing. If you work in government, even people steal from private sector now to go and build house because. And I also know now that some banks are giving some ridiculous mortgage facility too. So, and you build, for instance, I mean, apology to my in-laws, they will go and build gigantic houses in the village to show off. Those houses in the eastern part of the country, they don't have economic value. They are occupied by rodents, cobwebs, and all those things. Some children will not even go and live there. So how do you transfer that? So then marriage, of course, the rich marriage the rich is because you do believe that this guy, if you're from a rich family there, they think that you know the value of money. You are not only a consumer, you know how to produce. So, and because you share the same value, they will rather want to consolidate that the benefit of having a structural business by marrying their likes. They believe that, which is not always right, that if you marry from a poor family, the guy will bring his poverty to come and infest you and ruin your business. So poverty can be like a crime. They treat you as a leper, like a leprosy. They don't want leprosy hand to come and infest their business. So that is why they do that. Then, because these businesses are registered and they keep proper record, it is easy to transfer to the second generation, to the third generation. Our businesses, we do everything like a secret society in Nigeria. You're a tailor or whatever you call me. You don't even know how much you are making. So if you don't have record of what you are making, what will you transfer? Old machine, okay, you have a 5-singer machine or this you transfer to the guy to be doing Obioma or whatever with it. The guy will say he's not interested because your children are saying that this thing you have been doing is only at subsistence level. It doesn't even attract them. But when you are a fashion label, like, I don't know, those who are, is it Gucci, they call it now. And you know this is everywhere. Even the children say, you don't have to invite them, they will come because they know this is a success. Everybody want to identify with success. Unlike when what is the name of this drama? Surati Taylor. But if you are Surati Taylor at the corner of Mushi, who wish I want to inherit that? There's nothing to inherit. So
okay,
yeah.
let's go. I think we should
let
me take another question, especially for Yeti, who is just joining us. Thank you, sir. I would after this, I think we should just in case I have not asked you some things and you'd prepare to talk about it while you were preparing for this, please, you would use this few seconds to talk about it, and then we will close because we spent quite a reasonable amount of time. So I want to ask Yeti this. If we had time, I would have asked, allow all of us to respond to it, but we don't. So the question is this: the issue of transgenerational poverty. As there is transgeneration or generational transfer of wealth, there is also transgenerational poverty. This is one of the things that I looked at in my first research. Now, when you look at a lot of people that has money today, you can trace it to somebody in their family or somebody somewhere that helped them and connect them somehow. Now, but poverty has been transferred from one generation, from one person to another, from parents to their children in Nigeria. And it's unfortunate, but that's our reality. And Nigeria is currently the poverty capital of the world. Okay, so as a young parent, I want to ask you, and I know that you probably didn't prepare for this question, but I want you to speak to us what comes to your mind. What can an average parent, a young parent, do to ensure that they don't transfer poverty to their children? Yeti.
Okay, sir. My apologies once again for joining late. I think what they need to transfer to their children is a very strong work ethic. Because unless we are going to say that they should transfer to their children the 419 mentality, or just get whatever you can when you can, but I think the best thing you can give your children is for them to watch how hard you work and watch how you earn your money. Watch that there is reward in hard work. My children watch every day. They know that if I don't get a certain amount of jobs, we don't get bread. They don't get to eat what they like. We just eat what we have. And sometimes what we don't have, well, we just don't have it. But so they know they know the correlation between the two. A lot of people that connect their people, what used to be connection before was, okay, my child has finished university, take them to my friend that works in a certain place, let them connect them, let them settle them well. But in Nigeria nowadays, we see that it's not so much settle them well, just go there and give them a contract, let them hit some cash. And then they can start and they can go on from there. And suddenly they make connections and it's a bit of cash, you know. But I think in all of that, no matter who you know or what you don't know, the best thing you can do for your child so that they don't pick poverty and go from there is a very strong work ethic. And they learn how to do things, the importance of thinking when they are doing things. Of course, as I said, they can decide to learn from you just to go and pick 419 and go and slap everybody and pack everybody's money. But I think the strong work ethic is the most important thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yeti. You see why I know that your contribution is very important, just as the contribution of everyone is important. That's new on the table. Thank you. It's strong work ethic. This is something that I think is lacking in the society, Nigeria. When you go to the civil service or maybe walk up to, uh, you know, even a local government, a local council, you will see. Oh my God. Anyway, that's for another day. So now let's round up, and I'll give you maybe 30 seconds, to say one or two things that you may have not been chanced to say. I'll start with Tosin.
Yeah, thank you very much. It has been a very nice show today. I've learned a lot. And I want to employ every one of us to make sure we only bring to this world children we can look after. One, two, it's okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. that is superb. Okay, Abby.
This is insulting. I don't know because I have three and you have cut me off, and I'm still planning to have one more. So you have cut me off now. So, but it's okay. I really enjoyed myself today, and also in view of what Sayeti has said, I think in addition to that, aside from the work ethic, I also suggest, and this is a suggestion which I think would help from that generation, that the saving and investment culture is really very important. No matter how much we make, no matter the what culture and everything that we imbibe as our as our principle, saving and investment culture. Like we've also mentioned, I think Village Boy mentioned that earlier, that when we save to do what's that called now? Party. We save to do celebration and all that, but saving and investment, because that's part of the things that our children, you can imagine, you mentioned education. If you're sending your child for education, you're kind of investing into it. But when we're talking about the investing I'm talking about is real cash. Train your child not to spend everything that they hold. some people, I think in our culture, maybe Africa, Nigeria, I think some people say some people, maybe the Hausas, and apologies if I'm too, it's a blanket statement, that they like to spend their money. So if they make money now, they spend everything in one go. I don't know if that's true with every one of them, because I know a few of them that are not, but I'm saying that when we make money, the culture of saving and investing, and then we can multiply those wealth. And when it comes to poverty, as much as we like to showcase and say, oh, maybe the rich marrying the rich is wrong, or maybe not too good, maybe it's good to spread it. I put it to all of us now, may we or our children not really focus on that we should also try and not to be that poor person. And we can do that. We can do that by investing in ourselves before we do any other thing that we want to do. And lastly, and I'm sorry, I know you said 30 seconds, it was Citizen Stolzen's information about maybe it's joblessness that's making all the pastors to become a preacher. I beg to disagree, because most of them are being brainwashed, particularly in a movie that they watched many years ago. There's this movie, Ayamatanga, when somebody's hearing that God is calling them. I think that movie has done more damage to Nigeria as a country, or as the, whatever, than any other thing, because everyone is hearing God's voice, and that's why they're becoming a pastor. And thank you for having me today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm very grateful. Mommy Dirty, that I Am a Tanga film. In fact, and I'm sorry to that movie industry. I think they have not done well. Maybe we'll find some other time to discuss it. Go ahead, ma.
Okay, thank you. We are improving. We are aware. We are getting some of the criticisms. We are improving. Then on my last note is this: start early to train your children. Do not say, na small pikin, if they grow, you go change. No, you no go change. Start from the moment you notice those behaviors, those or abusive words, those characters, start to mold. You start early. You can't do it when they are 10s. There's a time you cannot bend them. There's a time you cannot change their mind. Start early when you can teach them, catch them young. Then another thing that is destroying children is competition between husband and wife. Husband is trying to discipline your child. Dear mother, you start quoting, I carry am for 9 months. I carry am this and that. You hate my child. Don't beat my child. You are too hard on my child. You are destroying that child. A good wife will team up with the husband. If the husband says, you must come back to this house by 7 p.m. or 9 p.m., dear mother, that is where you should stand. Do not let division among you. You are trying to make the children feel that you love them more than your husband, or the husband wants to make the child feel that he loves them more than the wife. Both of you are destroying that child. Control with one voice, discipline with one voice. There was a time my daughter came to me and said, Mommy, see, go and tell your husband, though. See what I said, would you shut up? Go and tell my daddy, or go and beg my daddy. Don't tell me, go and tell, are you mad? You don't. So, but today, some mothers will be happy that the child is teaching to them, respecting them more than the husband, or the husband. We are destroying these children. Stop this competition within you. Speak with one voice to the child, so that child can have direction. God bless us all. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Thank you very much, ma'am. Yeti, village boy will be the one to clean the plate.
Wrap it up. As Mr. Tosi said, have the children you can take care of. 1 or 2 is enough. But if you are like my neighbor here that had 1 and was going for number 2 and had triplets, you will be shocked in one place. We call him Baba 3, although he has 4. So they happen, sir. And as Abby also has said, and Village Boy has said, the culture of saving and investment is very important. We don't just go because we can buy that shoe, buy whatever it is, have Owambe, you want to keep up with the Joneses. You just make the money just so you can spend it, just so you can stay up. We need to actually normalize, not just make it, but normalize investing your money you might not be able to look, very flamboyant and all of that, but you are genuinely investing in your life and in the life of your children and in the life of the generation to come. Thank you very much. That's really it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You know, when you mentioned the issue of saving and looking at myself as a former civil servant, it is rare for you to see somebody in my class, in my category at that time, to be able to save. Because by 15th, the money don't finish. So I used to read about saving culture, that no matter how small you earn, you have to save from it. But anyway, let me leave that thing because village boy is an accountant. So anyway, village boy, let's hear your.
Well, well, thank you very much. A good society start from a good home. Let us rebuild our home. Even if you are doing fairly, you can do good. If you are doing good, you can do great. If you are doing poorly, uh, take a restock, reflect on what you are not doing right, and you can start doing. You can become fair, then you move up gradually. The more a dysfunctional home will lead to a dysfunctional society. And let us not, it's good to be religious, but let us base our religion practice on righteousness, on integrity, on honesty, on love for one another. And of course, like the Satan laws, don't eat with your 10 fingers. Don't eat everything you produce. When you eat with your 10 fingers, nothing will be left. And when you are saving, don't save for just as means of the fact of consumption. Don't save to blow on Ilea Day or to blow on Christmas Day. Invest part of your saving into something long term that you can inherit. You can inherit. I wrote an article which was published by Guardian. You can look at it. I call it Erijogunla, the value of a legacy. I can also send the link to everyone. That will make it to two things that I promised they to send. Read all these things. So let us transfer good conduct, good wealth. Not wealth that cannot be explained. Not well. I slightly want to comment. I don't think the film Agbaranla had a negative impact on Christianity. I think otherwise it had a positive effect. But I know some of the things there, especially in terms of dressing and everything, they have broken the mood now, so nobody conform with all those things. But if you take those things away, you would look at the values and the morality, the sincerity, the focus on that film. Where today everybody complain about side chicks. That film is talking about the danger of following side chicks. So I don't know why you don't see that. So, well, I think for me, Monsayon Group, they are my go-to film producer anyway. I respect your opinion about that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. The reason why I actually commented about that movie House is because of I think they have contributed immensely in terms of making Nigerians, average Nigerian Christian, to think everything is spiritual. You know, that everything has to come from above, that you have to pray, and this is replicated by almost all the churches in Nigeria. But we wouldn't have time to discuss that today. Thank you very much, and I hope that you guys have had fun, that we have learned one or two things. And for those people who will see this video and those who are seeing it now, please do share it. We intend to make it educative as much as we can, and I believe that my guests tonight, they have done justice to it. Thank you very, very much. I'm very grateful. Don't forget to check out our website at Opinion Sharers. We are currently working on what we call weekly world news. So, which means you get the news of things that are happening around the world within a week. Whatever it is that has happened from Monday to Saturday, you see it on our website. all around the world. Thank you very much.